Hello everyone and welcome to Adventure Evolve. Today I'll tell you guys about my recipe about how I make Peshawari Kehwa. So let's get started. So the recipe goes as it varies with how you require and how you like the tea itself, but roughly speaking the way I use it is I'll be making it for 2 persons. So I use 1 cardamom per person, so 2 cardamoms, and half a teaspoon per person, so since they're gonna be 2, so I'll use 1 teaspoon of tea, Peshawari tea. Now I got this from Qisa Khwani Bazar in Peshawar, but you can find it in other places and supermarkets as well. But the authentic flavor, it comes in many varieties, but this one is by far as I know the best one. It retains the flavor and color for a longer period of time. So we'll be using this along with sugar and water, of course. So let's move on to there. Alright, so I've turned up the flame and I've put a pan over here, and I'll add a cup of water for 2 persons, and I'll add 2 teaspoons of sugar. The thing with Peshawari Kehwa is that the sweeter it is, the more flavor it's going to release. So I'm going to add a little more sugar, even though that might not be healthy in the long term. But one of the benefits of Peshawari Kehwa is when you take it after a heavy meal or a meat rich in proteins and red meat, it really helps soothe the tummy and helps you digest and enjoy the food you've eaten. So we'll leave it here and we'll bring this to a boil, and meanwhile prepare the other ingredients. So meanwhile, as the water is boiling, I'll take the 2 cardamoms and put them in this mortar and pestle specifically for this Peshawari Kehwa making, and I'll grind it down so as to release the flavor in the cardamom. So now that I've ground the cardamom down, I'll add the tea in here. I'll not grind it specifically, but just mix it with it. And it's ready, and the water is boiling, so I'll add it in there now. So the water is boiling, I'll give it a mix, and I'll add the cardamom and tea mixture. Give it a stir. Now we don't want to boil it for a long period of time, because otherwise the tea is strong and it's going to make the tea very bitter. So we'll just boil it for a few seconds, as you can see over here. Just enough for like 10 seconds so that the tea can release its flavor into the water and the cardamom as well. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the heat down, cover it with a lid, and let it rest for at least a minute. Now that it's been 1 minute, I'm gonna take the lid off and pour the tea into the kettle. It has a filter on top of it, sieve, so it's going to keep the cardamom and the tea separate from the tea itself. We want to do that because we don't want to leave the leaves of the tea and the cardamom inside too long, because it's going to turn the tea bitter. Our Peshawari Kehwa is now ready, and now I'm going to serve it the traditional way in this small cup. Wow, it's amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you learned how to make a Peshawari Kehwa. Have a nice day.